I try and stay out of American politics, but something struck me tonight on Twitter as I was trying to figure out who to unfollow because everyone was talking about Trump and he's an idiot as far as I'm concerned. Um, but I'm a Canadian and I don't really follow it too much. You can't really help it. So he's like been mouthing off about how he abuses women, and there was this feed about like every woman has been grabbed or knows someone who's been grabbed, and I'm thinking, well, I have had abuse, not necessarily even by men, but I have had my body violated and emotionally, physically, whatever. And I was thinking, but have I actually been grabbed? And then it hit me, oh yeah, why do you think you gave up your volunteer job? That was part of it. That wasn't the whole reason. The other part was that I moved in with my mom, and I was living in a group home for 5 years, and then I move in with my mom, who we have an abusive relationship together, physically, mentally, and finally I had to be the adult and stop fighting, and that made her fight less, so it kind of helped. But the incident at my volunteer job, I did tell somebody. I told my boss. It happened a couple of times, and my boss said, oh yeah, it's happened to me too by that person. You can't really do anything because he doesn't understand. So that got me thinking, see, this person has some sort of a developmentally delayed something, but I actually don't know if that's his diagnosis. He seems pretty bright in some senses. One thing that he would do was he would always try and make sure that no one was around when he did it. And he wasn't even volunteering in the place where I was volunteering. It was a center that employed like different agencies. And so he would see me in the hall on the way to the photocopier or whatever. So, but the thing that really stood out when I did remember was that it really, really upset me. The thing that upset me most is that I wasn't like validated. When I told, it was like, oh, there's nothing you can do. So that brings me more fear. Like, how can I protect myself? What would I do next time? My biggest fear is that I'm going to have so much anger inside that I am going to attack the person that hurts me next, and then there may not be proof. So I may, go to the forensic unit or prison or jail or whatever, and that's a big fear. And I live as a hermit just because of a whole bunch of reasons, because of my panic attacks. And so part of it is not being able to trust others, not being able to trust my own mind. That's another thing with my mental illness. But the thing that also stood out was that there's this other incident where an orderly at a hospital, we had a little fling. It wasn't anything too major, but an orderly is not supposed to be doing things with people that are on the unit in the psych ward. So I waited 3 years before I ratted him out. And I had to go into the bowels of the hospital and talk to this person. And I said everything from start to finish, totally honest. If I thought, like, I kind of liked this orderly, but so I said everything, I said, well, I don't know. I didn't stop it. I did do stuff too. And, thinking, well, I'm just going to be honest. I don't have anything to lose. That person was fired, and that was like years ago. And so was this other incident, one more recent, with the person touching me at my volunteer job. But the thing with the orderly is that I love that hospital. It's like the best hospital. It helped me so much. And I feel like more comfortable being at that hospital than I would if I was still at my volunteer job, because I was listened to and the situation was taken care of. So I don't know. I think it's really important if somebody says something happened to them that you say, you know, you do believe them, especially if, you know, that you have no reason not to. But it's kind of hard, right? I know, like, people that I can't always believe. But anyway, I know that this has helped me just to be listened to. Thanks.